We garage pedaling cyclists on Zwift have pedaled a collective 3.37 billion indoor miles since Zwift launched in 2014. And this fall and this winter, the online gaming system has got a few new bells and whistles designed to keep us riding even more. There's a new race league called Z Racing. There's some tweaks to the ever popular WTRL league. There is a major change to the Zwift Worlds. The UCI Certified World Championship now consists of 3 separate races, all on one day, designed to make it a lot more spectator friendly. There's been an improvement and expansion of the club's functionality. There's been tweaks to the workouts, including a old school yet new school methodology designed to attract more beginners, and the cap on the levels has gone from 50 to 60. Here's a snapshot of what is coming up on Zwift. Zwift has some interesting stats on who we are, the people who are on Zwift. The game has been pushing hard to get more runners in, but it's still largely us, cyclists and triathletes, who are pedaling on the platform. There's been a lot more folks who identify as beginners or more recreational cyclists coming on, and Zwift has been tracking the median 20-minute power and has seen that drop over the last few years. Now, Zwift says 181 watts is the median 20-minute threshold power for folks on the game. Accordingly, they've tweaked some things like pace partners around those power profiles. Zwift claims that 30% of us on Zwift ride with a pace partner once a week. There's A, B, C, D pace partners that are broken down by watts per kilo, and the D category is the most popular. Going forward, there are 8 pace partners all the time in Watopia and 8 on Makrui Islands. Zwift has also tweaked the home screen to make the pace partner rides a little more prominent, so you can see at any given time which pace riders are where, what their average speed is, what the watts per kilo is, and how many riders are riding with them. Zwift's co-founder and head of product, John Mayfield, says he's been thinking about a future development where you can start with one pace partner and to warm up and then teleport, so to speak, to ride with another pace partner at a higher wattage. Right now that's in his head and not in the game, but that's something to be looking for down the road. Kind of along the same lines of the pace partners, as far as a virtual bot rider that is there to pace you, Zwift has something now called a Holographic Replay, which is quite similar to Garmin's pace partner. You can set this up 3 ways. It can be your most recent time, the best time you've done the last 90 days, or both. Similar to Garmin's pace partner, this just gives you a prompt to effectively chase yourself. It's set up on segments, again, similar to Garmin's thing, but indoor Zwift segments, of course, as opposed to outdoor. Similar to Garmin's pace partner, this is set GPS accurately. Of course, it's GPS virtually accurately because you're not riding outside. But in any event, it's where your best time was at any given point on that segment and not just an average speed for that thing. So say there's a climb and then a descent, it doesn't just give the average across the thing, but a realistic reenactment of where you were so you can chase yourself. One thing you can't do, like Garmin's pace partner, is set it to the best time of a friend or of the QOM or KOM of that segment. So it's just your best time of all time or 90 days. Another new thing on Zwift as far as layout is the presentation of workouts. Right now it's broken down by collections, which is like branded and thematic. You can see the GCN training in one spot. If you're a new mother, there's a section of training for you. There's different types of functional threshold power tests. Just a different visual presentation of the training options in there. Custom, which is where your workouts go if you upload them from a training plan. And you can sort workouts by duration. Under 30 minutes, 30 to 60 minutes, 60 to 90, etc. Difficulty is set 1 through 5 by intensity factor, so you can quickly get a sense of how hard the workout is. There's also a visual presentation with zones by color. And when you're jumping into the workout, you can toggle your FTP if you've suddenly gotten 50 watts faster since the last time you logged onto Zwift. And then there's an entirely new type of workout, which is old school in a new school online virtual format, in that instead of being power-based, it's just route-based. So hey, sprint to the top of this hill or ride as fast as you can to this sign. This is a way Zwift thinks, to get beginners into the game who aren't as familiar with power-based workouts or aren't as interested in power-based workouts. Let's talk racing. There's a few cool new things cooking. WTRL is the big series. I love doing that with my boys at stages. This season, or this winter, I should say, there will be 3 different seasons and then a season championships. Each season is 6 weeks long. The numbers are bonkers. There's like 15,000 people plus involved in this thing every Tuesday night. And then WTRL also has its super popular team time trial set up on Thursdays. And for that team time trial, one major thing has been switched in that each team now has a distinct time on the countdown clock. If you haven't done this, you're wondering, what the heck is that? Why do I care? If you have done this, you know what exactly I'm talking about, and you know it's a pain in the butt to try to keep track of when your team time was with just a single clock going. That has been the source of much tomfoolery and laughter and a bit of yelling amongst teams in the past. So now Zwift has that set up like any other mass start race, where your team gets a countdown clock for the start of your team time trial. Zwift also says it's dialed in some of the category enforcement and fairness parameters around WTRL racing, including enforcement of, a Z power versus using Smart Trainer or a power meter. The Zwift Worlds format is interesting. In the past, it's been a single mass start race. This year, 3 different races all happen on the same day with short breaks in between. The first race is a 14.5K race, super short, 100 starters. That dwindles the field down to 30 for the next scratch race, which is 8.8K long, again, super short. And then the top 10 from that race advance to a 13K elimination race at the end. And once it gets down to the final 3, those 3 sprinted out for the podium spots. So totally different format, and the emphasis on what would make this a fun thing to watch for those of us sitting in front of our computers and not participating in Worlds. Why do you care about Zwift Worlds? I don't know if you do or not, but you should note that the 2022 Zwift Worlds winner, Jay Vine, is the real deal. He just won 2 stages of the Vuelta a España this year, beating Remco Evenepoel and everybody else there in Spain. So even if you're not interested in the virtual racing itself, the virtual Zwift Worlds has proven to be an indicator of World Tour talent out on the road. Turns out most of us are not Jamie Vine, and we will not be participating in Zwift Worlds, but many of us will probably be keen to check out the new expansion of the Makrui Islands called Urukazi. There's 10 to 12 miles of new road, 8 new routes, including an Uber route of 25 miles or more. It's a mix of asphalt, dirt, and sand. And this November, there will be a tour of the Makrui Islands, November 4th through 30th. And that is a snapshot of what is new on Zwift for fall and winter of 2022. I'm Ben Delaney. I thank you for watching.